picture a world untouched by the British boots, where Native American metropolises stand tall and proud. Dive deep with us into this enticing episode of Alternative Histories. Untainted by European settlers, Native American tribes would have honed their agricultural mastery. Think vast fields rich in the legendary Three Sisters. Corn, beans, squash, all cultivated through innovative techniques, making the lands even more fertile and productive. Resources are the lifeblood of any civilization. As tribes prosper, so does their need for fertile lands, potent herbs, and sacred spaces. Conflicts over territorial rights and resource control could have sparked political rivalries. Add to the mix diverse cultures, languages, and rituals. Even as tribes share many commonalities, distinct differences could lead to misunderstandings or even disdain. Might these cultural differences fan the flames of a potential civil war? Rising tensions, territorial disputes, and the struggle for dominance would have seen major tribal confederations like the Iroquois, Sioux, and Navajo in direct contention. With their vast networks, established trade routes, and robust societal structures, the Iroquois might have had the upper hand. With their legendary strategic skills, the Iroquois might have emerged as a dominant force. Their legacy, a powerful influence on modern America's governance, commerce, and perhaps even its international stance. Today's America could have been a nation of robust tribal states, each wielding its own power, yet unified under the strength of a prevailing Iroquois-led confederation. Religious evolution takes a different path here. Indigenous spiritualities would blossom with grand temples, perhaps rivaling the majestic European cathedrals or even the pyramids of Egypt, standing as testimonies to their deep-rooted belief. Venturing into the realm of health and medicine, the indigenous knowledge stands unparalleled. Untouched by British colonization, these tribes would likely have a honed and advanced understanding of the land's flora and fauna. Envision a healthcare system grounded in holistic wellness, marrying the physical with the spiritual. From the Pacific to the Atlantic, expansive botanical gardens could flourish, preserving ancient herbal remedies. Without European influence, many of these could have evolved into globally sought-after treatments, potentially laying the foundation for advanced pharmaceuticals derived purely from the riches of American soil. But it's not just about herbs and potions. Native American healthcare is inherently communal. Spiritual healers, known by many names across tribes, would potentially hold esteemed positions, guiding communities in rituals to ward off diseases, both of the body and the spirit. The land is the best doctor, a belief held by many native tribes, and in this alternative history, it's a principle that might have shaped the health narratives of an entire untouched continent. Many indigenous cultures across the Americas, from the Native Americans in the north to the various civilizations in Central and South America, used psychedelics as part of their spiritual and medicinal practices. These include the use of peyote, ayahuasca, psilocybin mushrooms, and other substances. With Native American societies had been allowed to evolve without European interference, these practices would likely have continued and possibly even flourished. Native American civilizations had their own networks of trade and cultural exchange. Psychedelic substances, as valuable spiritual and medicinal resources, could have been traded more extensively among tribes and nations. This might have led to a wider acceptance and understanding of these substances across the continent. Other global powers like the Spanish, Portuguese, or Dutch could have still made contact if they had interacted with a more robust and unified Native American civilization. The European perception of psychedelic substances might have been different. Instead of viewing these substances as primitive or heretical, they might have been seen as exotic or valuable, leading to their integration into European medicine and spirituality. In the global political theater, the Native American superpower would negotiate ally and trade. Envoys would cross vast oceans, connecting with Asian dynasties, African monarchies, and perhaps even forging tentative bonds with curious European states. Art and culture. A vivid explosion, an amalgamation of thousands of tribes, each narrating stories of legends, gods, and daily lives through murals, pottery, dance, and song. Imagine contemporary artists drawing inspiration from sacred tribal symbols, integrating ancient techniques with modern aesthetics. The reverence for nature and spirit, a staple in Native American art. would infuse modern canvases with deeper symbolism and environmental motifs. Public art spaces and global art festivals, too, would reflect this symbiotic blend, a union of ancient reverence with futuristic visions. The essence of tribal spiritualism could become a counter-movement in an increasingly digital world, grounding modern art in earthy, tangible realities. Fashion, a vibrant tapestry, from the richly embroidered attire of the Plains tribes to the feathered intricacies of the Aztecs. Without European influence, native fashion would be iconic, shaping global sartorial trends. Picture a world where America's culinary heartbeat pulsates with flavors passed down from native ancestors, untouched by British influence. What tastes might tantalize our modern palates in such an America? Central to many tribal diets were the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash. But in our alternate America, these staples would be more than just sides. They'd be the stars of the culinary show. Imagine biting into a dish infused with the heritage of the Iroquois, Sioux, or Navajo. Dishes like cornbread, seasoned with wild herbs and complemented by smoked buffalo, might have become the American pizza of this world. Beyond its borders, the America of this timeline would be known for its unique exports. With no British influence, potatoes and chili, now staples in many cuisines, might be rare delicacies, making dishes like spicy Indian curries or classic French fries an unfamiliar taste in global cuisine. But it's essential to recognize that not all would be utopian. Like many ancient societies, some tribes did practice forms of slavery or indentured servitude. Would these practices evolve differently without European trade influences, or might they see abolition movements from within? History is a complex web of events and decisions, each altering the future in unimaginable ways. Today, we glimpsed a world where the British never touched American shores. But remember, history is not just about the big empires or the great wars. It's about the everyday decisions that you and I make. So here's to the endless possibilities of what could have been.